What's going on, guys? Welcome to the Scope. We are back on a Monday. We hit our day that we're supposed to be live. Everything worked out, and we're here. You're welcome, everybody. Man, this is going to be a great show. It is. I'm giddy, man. It's like I said in the title, man. It's like Christmas for extraction shooter fans. We got a lot going on, a lot coming up, and a lot to talk about. I am one of your co-hosts, Crash, joined by my other two co-hosts, BlueTheRobot, and two-time back-to-back COVID survivor, Buffnerd Gaming. What's up, man? Oh, there went the stream. YouTube's gonna take it down because I said the C word. Dang it.
How dare you?
I ruined it. But what's up, guys?
How's it going?
Oh no.
I don't know. Not too much other than the weather is wild here. We're actually in a tornado watch for another like 20 minutes. So we're almost to the finish line though. It makes no sense. Why that's a thing in November, but I think it's November. Yeah. I haven't slept much. I still nothing's changed since last week. I still have two children under 2 years old, and I don't sleep because they never sleep at the same time.
Nice.
And it's a good time. But it keeps me honest.
Sounds like it.
keeps me on my toes. But yeah, man, other than that, everything's going good. I am excited. I saved up for a really long time. I'm going to show you guys. Sorry, audio listeners, we do love you. I got a new hunting pack.
Ooh, okay.
Ooh,
so I got a pack for so now I can go on like kind of backpack hunts. I got like extra clothes, first aid kits, like stuff to like clean an animal and haul out the meat and stuff.
Nice.
And so it's like sweet. I've wanted one of these for like a really long time. I've saved up forever for this one because it's kind of expensive. So I'm a cool backcountry backpack bow hunter now. I can strap my bow to the back of that thing, put the water bladder in it, hit the road.
Hell yeah.
Start hiking. So it's pretty cool. That's about the level of excitement I've experienced since last time we talked. I got a backpack, you guys. That's how amped I am.
Little things like that though make the world of a difference though.
Yeah, it is cool. It's like just something I saved up for a while and pulled the trigger on, and excited to put it to some use. That's where I'll be next week. We'll have to figure out, just kind of talking out loud with the guys here. We'll have to figure out what to do with the show next week. So I think I'll be out of town.
Okay.
Or just getting back on the Monday or something, because I'm leaving for the ranch on Thursday and then coming back Sunday or Monday. So I'll just have to play it by ear with you guys and see what you guys got cooking, because I know we got the holiday, the Thanksgiving coming up. So
yeah, I know it'll probably get a little crazy during that time. So
the holidays and stuff, but we'll figure it out one way or t'other. See what we can put together. We'll do our best to get it as close to Monday as possible and as many of us there as possible. But everybody's busy, and we just do our best, and that's all we can do. But we try to get you guys a show every week, no matter what. Because I don't know. We've only missed a few weeks, and we're on episode 145, so I'm pretty proud of it. With all of us having like real jobs and stuff, it's pretty good.
It's good.
I don't mean to toot my own horn, but Blue, what have you been up to, man?
Oh, brother, let's see. This weekend, what was it? Saturday seemed kind of hectic because it was just like family came over for a bit, and then also went out with the fam to just hang out. We put up all of our Christmas decorations up and stuff like that. We got the tree up now. We got the fireplace going. It's electric, So
it's in the air, man.
It's in the air. So we got the house one like pine.
Nice.
And yeah, no, that's pretty much it for that. And then Sunday, went out to the range with Pears and another friend of ours, just to go hit the range, do some training, pistol, rifle, zero in our rifles on a bigger range, we charted it as well too, so we knew like where we were gonna be now. And then also just being out there, man. I was there from it was like 10:30 in the morning to like 3 p.m. just out there all day, just shooting.
Yeah.
Hanging out, being around guns, smelling gunpowder in the air,
Stuff.
Yeah, it was a good day. It was a good day. So yeah, I gotta clean my weapons again. So that's the best part of range days. So, and buy more ammo as per usual. I gotta buy more ammo. I gotta buy more targets, I gotta buy those pasties to put over the target and stuff like
Pasties.
that. So pasties, not the ones that go on your chest. You know?
I don't know why I thought of that.
They're stickers, but I mean, you could put them there. But
we gotta get you into reloading. We gotta get you loading some ammo. Then
dude,
it makes range way cheaper and you can go more often. I feel like, especially like metallics. So, like, what were you shooting? Like caliber wise?
Brass. Yeah. Oh, caliber wise, I was shooting 7.62 by 39, 5.56, 9mm. Took out the shotgun as well too. So
like nines and 223s, like especially nines are really cheap to reload, man. It takes it cuts it into like a quarter of
I'd
the
have
price.
to double check. I think it's a wild. I think it could shoot both 223 and 5.56.
Yeah,
so
usually can.
Well, I think it's like what if it can shoot 5.56, it can shoot 223. But if it can only shoot 223, it can't shoot 5.56.
There's something like that.
Something like that.
There is something like that.
I heard something. I remember working at a gun shop and something, something like that. But anyways,
I just have
I do want a red dot though for the Glock 19 now. I think that kind of like this last range experience kind of confirmed it. I was okay with iron sights and I'm able to put shots on target, but that I really just need a shot timer, because especially when I go out to the range by myself, I don't have a shot timer, so I'm usually relying on the guys out there to time my shots, reloads, and transition times, stuff like that. But then having one for me so I can put pressure on myself when I'm out there and actually getting to like learn and just actually train properly. And then also having a new sight for the AR, because this one actually died on me towards the end. It was like the last like 20, maybe 15 minutes, and I had to switch to the backup iron sights, which absolutely suck compared to a red dot. So it was, it worked. I was actually, surprisingly accurate shooting on the move too with the crappy Magpul plastic iron sights, but
I'm really surprised there's not a phone app that's a shot timer, because it's got a micro. Like, is there not one? I feel like there would be a phone app.
I haven't seen that.
Seems like
I
something
saw
that
like
would
a
work.
few different ones. It should. I mean, it would just like, I don't even really know how shot timer works specifically. I just know it just once it hears the sound, it gets the time from that, and then I guess because it's like, how does it know when you stop shooting?
I think they usually like you hit it and it almost like flags the time when you shoot, and it keeps track of the time, and then it always just keeps the time of your last shot, I think.
That's what. Okay, so it'll just keep tracking it until you're pretty much done. That makes sense. So but that, and then also
it's
I want
pressure,
new
Shadow?
headphones too. Oh, is it pressure? I guess that makes sense.
I feel like they could make one though.
Well, no, because what if you have a suppressor?
I feel like they could make, it's probably really sensitive. I feel like they could make one though with a phone, and it could use your microphone. But
then you might actually, you can like accidentally say something really loud and maybe mess up the timer if it was on your phone. So pressure would make more sense.
I'll just run around and yell and bang really loud and messing up people's shot timers.
Yeah, I do want some better ear protection too. Like the walkers I have are fine, nothing wrong with those. But wearing glasses and then after a few hours of just consistently wearing it started putting pressure on the sides of my head. So I tried out one of the range officers there. He had some sword-ins, and the cups around the ears felt so comfy. I could hear everything so clearly. I mean, I was like, damn, I need to get some sword-ins next. So it was a good range day, a lot of training, but definitely just like it showcased a lot of things that I need. Also, I need a good gun belt too. So
I gotta get
expensive. It's an expensive hobby, man.
Oh yeah. I gotta get another what you call it, set of ear. I had Ear Pro that was the custom molded stuff where they put the putty in and then send it off, and then
is
the
it like
kind
of like your
it looks like these when you're wearing them. Yeah, our dog chewed them up and ruined them.
Ooh,
so I've just been back.
I did
to
see the ones that like, the ones that you can take phone calls in them, listen to music, but they're actual like rated for the decibel for ear protection. So I was like, damn, that actually might be kind of cool. Just jamming the music.
Nice. Yeah, a lot of guys, especially kind when I competed in trap shooting, which is like it's a kind of clay target shooting where the target comes out of a concrete bunker, but it oscillates. You don't know which way it's going to fly. But you shoot
Ooh.
25 rounds. You shoot 5 at each station. There's 5 stations that kind of move around, so your angles are kind of different and stuff. But it's a lot of like there's 5 people, so you shoot, then you let the other 4 people shoot their target, and it comes back to you. A ton of people listen to music because it's a mental game because you have to like stay in it. A lot of times you shoot 300-500 targets in a day, so you're just out there trying to keep on pace. And like with trap shooting too, it's like when you get up into like AAA class and AA class, you can't miss. Like you have to shoot, you have to break all 200, and you have to keep your mental thing going. You can't slip up for a second. You miss a target, you're out of it because somebody's going to break them all. So it's like a lot of people listen to music in that discipline. It's funny. I never did, but a lot of people did. I feel like it would help. But
that's pretty much it.
What about you, man? On the mend?
Yeah, I mean, I was by like Tuesday when we did the show last week, I was good to go. I was back in the gym that day and just didn't miss a day. Worked out all the way through Saturday. Took a day off yesterday. Worked out again today. So yeah, good to go. Just unfortunate timing with when I got sick, but
that sucks so bad.
Other than that, like a lot of sports this weekend. I went to a hockey game Friday, basketball game. Saturday, watched our college football team on Saturday, and then yesterday,
like at the actual stadium.
No, because I went to the basketball game, but the college team was away, so we watched that at like a bar. But we went to the college basketball game, which is cool. And then yesterday, the Bills beating Kansas City, so I was happy about that. It was a great game to watch. So a lot of football yesterday too. So it was just a weekend, literally just full of sports. Like you went to two live games and then watched a bunch. So it was good.
Dude,
nice. Heck yeah.
Yeah, I'm guessing you guys saw the fight, right?
No.
Yeah, I was gonna talk about that. Yeah, that was.
I didn't watch it.
Somebody that bought
good
amateur also, like that was the most pathetic excuse for a boxing match I've ever seen in my life. It was
at least the main event. The
main event,
were good.
The undercard fights were really good, but the main event was just like
I heard the female fight right before was awesome.
Oh, it was that was the fight of the night for sure. But I was mad at myself for staying up.
Yeah, dude, I was upset because I was like, I almost forgot about it, and then I saw it was on Netflix. I was like, oh, maybe I should tune into it, and then I started watching, and I caught it at the tail end of the female fight. So I was sitting there waiting until they went through, and then I saw everyone on Twitter having like connection issues with the servers and Netflix. I was like, for me, I was lucky. I only had one time where I had to like turn off Netflix and turn it back on, and it was fine the rest of the time.
Mine resolved before the main event. Like I think by the time the women started going, it was fine. So yeah, whatever it was, but yeah, I mean, it was a really bad fight, man. Nothing you can say. I think the combined total of punches was like maybe 250, which is just so pathetic.
And they weren't even strong punches.
No, they weren't. They weren't good punches. And that's the thing with like, Mike Tyson. It's weird because like his training footage, he looked way better. So I don't know like what was going on there. It's hard to say. I mean, with the amount of money they were making, like there's no way what's fixed and what isn't with that. Like Paul had a guaranteed 40 million, Tyson guaranteed 20 million. So it's like, you're gonna go out and actually. There's no way to know if there's just like, hey, let's make a show of it. There's no way to know that. But all I know is what I saw with Tyson's training footage on the mitts and everything like that. That those combos never happened in the fight. So it's like he has to stand him to do it on the mitts, but he can't do it in the fight. It's just weird. And then Jake Paul is just, he's fought one person who's a reputable actual boxer, and he lost that fight. He's a great businessman, but not a good fighter whatsoever.
Yeah, he's not been tested. I mean, you're fighting a 60-year-old dude. I didn't even watch it. I also feel like I'm one of the only people I know that doesn't have Netflix.
Oh, yeah.
And I wasn't going to buy it for that.
Definitely was not worth it at all.
So you're not
yeah.
you're not saying it was rigged,
I mean,
but
it could have very well could have been, man. Tyson
Yeah.
threw like maybe 40 punches max. It was
It was a small
weird.
amount. Yeah.
It was really weird.
And I was
And
just
like all the angles, because I fought, like you could see all the counter punch opportunities and all that stuff is what I look for. Like there was so many opportunities. Paul had his hands down the whole fight. Like there was so many opportunities to just
dude,
easily
seriously,
knock him
not
out.
one time
Yeah.
defending his face and stuff like
Yeah.
that. It was insane.
Like then that's boxing 101. So it's like,
Yeah.
if I'm watching it and I know from my previous fight experience that I could easily counter and just put him down, it's just like how is Mike Tyson 60 years old or not, he wasn't even throwing those punches when they were wide open for him. So it was just
Yeah.
I wouldn't it wasn't a legit fight. It was 2 rounds, 8 minutes, 14-ounce gloves. You typically fight with 10.
Yeah, there were it
For
was smaller time frame,
Yeah, for
weaker
me, I
gloves.
think it's
Yeah.
like, yo, you're 60, we're making a lot of money. Let's just,
Yeah, look,
pace
through
it,
this.
if he did it just to like get his family good to go for the
Yeah,
rest of for the rest of their life, because
who
he's like, hey
knows?
man, I don't have much more time here, you know.
Yeah, he didn't throw a lot of punches, which he's 60 years old. So who am I? I don't know. But I mean, I just think also I will say the pacing of that, like my buddies were like, "Yo, come over to the hockey game and watch it. Like, the main event will be on at 11." And I'm like, and like I got home and I'm looking at where they are on the card, and I'm like, dude, that fight's not gonna start till 12:30 Eastern. Like, so they did a fight, and then it was like, let's wait 45 minutes for the next fight. It was
I
really
hate
really
that.
stupid. It's like okay, the fight's over. Let's go. We don't need to do this whole.
That's
Is ridiculous. It just
that's the nice
dragged
thing
out
about
for
the
so
UFC.
long.
The
Yeah,
UFC pay-per-views, they're like boom, boom, boom. I
Yeah,
like that.
that's how it should be, back to back. You're back there. You're back there. You should be warming up, working in the mitts. You're already wrapped up. There's no reason for it to take another 40
Yeah,
minutes to come out. I don't know what's
it's
going
like
on back there. You're
yeah, it
watching. You
feels
have
like
the
they're
fight on your screen. You should be like, okay, cool. This is about to wrap up. Let's get ready to go out. Then you know what I mean?
yeah,
Mhm.
it feels
That's
like it
how we
catches them by
always were.
surprise. Like, oh, I have to
Yeah,
fight. Like you've been
yeah.
training for
Yeah,
months. It's
yeah.
That's
not
how
like,
we
Hey, look,
always were. It's like
the best thing to come out of the main event, was the memes more so,
yeah.
man. Like the meme of freaking Mike Tyson walking and it's
Oh
just this
yeah.
fucking
With
bare
his butt.
chaps. Dude, just and then the
what was
camera
that?
guy. I don't know, man. I think it was like a quick, before the fight interview, and then all of a sudden, like he's like, "All right, bye, I love you too." I don't know who he said "love you to." He gave like a quick kiss, maybe with some family or something like that. But then he turned around, and then it's just this bare ass
Yeah.
Yeah, I
right
saw
there,
that.
and then the camera guy quickly, tries to like pan up and like zoom in to kind of get away. It's like too late. Whole
Yeah,
world saw it.
it's always too late, man.
It was just, I was like, dude, this is a 58-year-old man just walking with his ass out. Just,
Yeah,
come on, man. What are we
he
doing?
doesn't care. He doesn't care.
No, he doesn't. Yeah. So
It's kind of funny to me.
it was cool to like, I was like live tweeting during it, and I was like, yeah, this isn't going to be anything special. So,
No, it was the worst thing I've ever watched in my life for the sport of boxing, hands down. I think
yeah.
that's the kind of stuff you don't want to see in boxing. It just really I feel
I
like
don't
it's a bad name on the sport for sure.
I don't get it. The
That's
Paul
why
brothers seem
I
like
like
stand-up
watching UFC
guys.
better.
I think
Yeah,
they're
I'm
both
not,
very talented, and Logan, I especially respect like what he does in WWE because he's extremely talented. Jake, I don't. I mean, I think a lot of what he does is a character. I don't think it's really who he is, but he's a genius businessman for sure. But again, he's fought one actual boxer who's in their prime, and he lost that fight.
Wasn't that
So
Fury?
yeah.
yeah, it was Fury, and
Tyson's brother. I can't remember
and
his name.
he yeah, like son, like brother-in-law or whatever. But yeah, I don't know but he lost that fight.
Now he wants to try to fight Connor
No, I
in the
mean
ring in the
you
octagon.
that see that's I mean he's very smart business wise. Like
Yeah, they're
and
just going
he
for like
plays
On the hype
exhibition.
of it,
yeah,
to like
and
say who you want to fight next, it's like,
oh
yeah,
yeah, and he plays in the character of I'm gonna make you hate me. So like it's really smart, but
yeah,
the
oh yeah. When
moment
people were booing him, he was embracing that,
yeah, the
man. Like,
moment if he ever does fight legitimate actual contenders or anybody who's not fucking old and washed up, like he's going to lose. He's not. You can tell like the fundamentals aren't there. His hands are down. Like any legitimate fighter would counter him in a heartbeat. So
yeah, we'll save this for the sports podcast we have coming up in the future.
Right.
Yeah.
We got you.
I guess we'll talk about video games now. Before we get into the stuff, just wanted to say really quickly, if you guys want to support the show, there's a bunch of free ways to do that. For those of you that are hanging out with us on YouTube, you can hit that like button. It helps a lot. It's easy to do. It's also free. You can share the stream around. We also ask that if you want to, you can be a friend, tell a friend, bring someone back with you. Next week, share the stuff around. If you're an audio listener, if you got a second, don't do it while you're driving. You can leave us a 5-star review on the platforms, and that helps us a ton. That pushes the audio podcast out a little bit. So lots of free stuff you can do. Hang on to your money and help us out that way, and we'll grow this thing together. The first thing I was going to talk about, I almost made a tweet. I didn't want to be so dramatic about it though, but I think I'm fully, completely, and utterly retired from Warzone. The mouse input just feels like trash. There's no way with a long time to kill to be able to track players with controllers. They brought back all the visual recoil and stuff with all the smoke and stuff like that. Like you can't see what you're shooting at, especially in the gulag. And I think with all the shooters that we're going to talk about coming out soon and the changes and the updates coming to all the other shooters, I think I'm signing off of Warzone, man.
Yep.
Like I think I'm pretty much done indefinitely with Warzone. I don't even think I'll probably play Verdansk when it comes back because like the map's cool and there's some nostalgia factor there, but the mechanics are so ass in this game now that
not the same at all. Yeah, I literally just I think like an hour ago probably retweeted and commented on something Westy posted. Because I saw Tactical Brit and Westy.
I got Tactical Brit's tweet up. I was gonna talk about that because I've seen a common theme with a lot of people are not happy with the integration of Warzone.
But this is also I think I mean you can go into his tweet first and then we'll talk about it.
Okay, well he was basically saying that he said it's time to stop saying that Warzone has potential because a lot of people are saying that like they could get some stuff fixed and bring this back. But essentially what's going on is everybody is complaining about the audio. What's really funny is I feel like that meme of like with James Franco getting ready to get hung, and I'm like, first time. As a search and destroy player, and destroy player, the audio has been ass since launch. And then now that it's integrated, all the Warzone players are like, "What the hell? This audio is trash." So it's kind of funny. But and then I've seen a lot of players like Huskers, really, really good mouse and keyboard players saying that it just feels terrible on mouse and keyboard. And then Tactical Brit did a video today. I skimmed through it a little bit, basically showing how terrible the desync was and how terrible the netcode is.
I saw some of his tweets with it, with, like the clips.
Yeah, it was really crazy about like dying instantly and then going back and watch, and there was like people shooting on the kill cam that weren't even shooting on his death cam.
Jeez.
And he basically got into a server with a friend. And the clip I saw, so I didn't get to watch the whole video, so keep that in mind if I say something that's stupid, but the clip I watched, he was in a server with his buddy. He shot his buddy. The time to kill on his side was 800 milliseconds. The time to die on his buddy's side was 500 milliseconds. So the desync is so off. It was 300 milliseconds faster of dying. So like that's like 40 some percent faster
crazy,
to feel to death than it feels to kill somebody. So you're going to feel like you get melted instantly if somebody sees you first. And you're going to feel like it takes 800 bullets like they're wearing Spartan Halo armor on the other end of it. And so like all this stuff is just terrible, but like we got skins. Like you want to buy some skins? Can I interest you in some skins? Yeah, it just doesn't feel good. And I think they've been from when they launched Verdansk, I think they've just been riding off that for the last several games. They're not trying, man. They're mailing it in. Like they didn't even come. There's no new map even for the big mode. They didn't even make it.
And they reverted all the changes too. I think was something everyone was complaining about, as they reverted everything back to like day one of Kyrgyzstan or whatever the map is.
Yeah. But so they took away the changes and they made it like relaunch of Kyrgyzstan.
Which, I mean, I liked that map at launch. I didn't play much of it, maybe like a month or two after. But I will say, I don't know. I replied to Westy's, like, I I retweeted, quoted it because he was saying, the same thing because him and Tactical Brit always play together, and I was just like, it's sad to see that this is kind of like the sentiment among the whole community right now, but it's also not surprising. I think myself being somebody that was very vocal about it when the game really started taking a bad turn, and everyone else was just like, no, the game's awesome, Warzone's the best, best thing ever, new map, blah 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 blah, let's use the meta guns. And now it's, to see where the game now is exactly where it was heading. I think after like season 5 of original Warzone for Modern Warfare 2019, when the
You've been saying
ground,
this for quite some time.
yeah, this is what I've been saying forever. So I mean, like the ground meta, and then they just like completely stopped balancing weapons in a sensible way. And then you had the Cold War integration, and then Verdansk 84. The game has never been the same whatsoever. So to your point, Crash, have they been riding off of the nostalgia of what was the original Warzone? 100%. Um, and like I've always said, Raven is a terrible studio when it comes to managing Warzone. They shouldn't be in charge of anything. They're awful, and that's why you have the game where it is now. They've just missed after miss after miss after miss. They can't do anything right. And Warzone's a crappy game now compared to what it was. It was a phenomenon in 2020 because it was fun. Now it's we have Sparky skins, Sweatfest slide cancel all over the place, super meta movement stuff with broken weapons nonstop integrated. It's just not fun compared to what it is. So I do want to jump back in and kind of see, but I think all the content I originally did for Warzone was coming like from I was playing a lot of Tarkov right before that came out. So it was like, especially my solo videos, like slow play, tactical advantage, tactical weapons, like outplay people like tactically. You can't do any of that anymore because of the game mechanics. So like you said, when Verdansk does come back, that's nostalgia, but the game itself is
Still
not.
crap.
Yeah, the game itself is so bad compared to what it was. Um, I do think the only way to remedy this, and that's why I was kind of sad to see that they didn't take a break from Warzone this year and do like a blackout instead. I think is what they should have done because Warzone has clearly been heading downhill for years, and the fact that some of these larger creators are now just like, oh, it's just can't even play the game. It's like, no, no shit, dude. Has anybody been paying attention to what's been happening in the past 4 years? Of course, that's where it's been going. So it's just funny to see these tweets from the people that I feel like just all about. You can tell people are just like, yo, let's hype this up for views. And now it's
Yeah.
getting so bad that they can't even pretend it's a good game because it hasn't been a good game for a long time. So
Yeah.
it's shitty. Hopefully, I think they need a break from it, and I think you need to not have Raven Software involved in anything. People shit on Infinity Ward, but Infinity Ward is the game studio that created Warzone and is the only studio that has any sort of technological leap and innovation within the Call of Duty franchise. Otherwise, you get copy and paste of the same game every single year until Infinity Ward comes out with their like mainstay title once every 4 to 5 years.
Yep. So I think I agree with all that stuff, and I think people are really. It feels like, and maybe this is just like Twitter drama or whatever, but all the big creators, like Jay God has a video talking about how terrible it is, like Westy, Tactical Brit, like I know Iron was playing today and like it was terrible feeling, and it's just like how many do-overs do they get? Because I feel like the majority of the Warzone integrations when they bring in a new multiplayer into Warzone is always like really bad.
It's
And
all,
at this
dude. Yeah, what was it?
and
The what was the Cold War meta? The DMR 14 or whatever it was, DMR meta just broke the game, and they're just like, it's Christmas time. We'll just leave it like this for like 3 months. No big deal.
yeah, yep,
Yeah, it's
yeah,
tough, man. It's tough because Warzone. I think we all had. I mean, Crash. I think you were probably playing it right around in 2020 also, but I think it was before you and I hadn't met at the time. I don't know, and Blue probably wasn't playing it, but I mean,
Brother,
2020, dude,
I think I played one round of
dude,
Warzone my entire
Prime
gaming
Warzone,
career.
yeah, dude, Prime Warzone in 2020 was, I think, outside of next to Battlefield 3 multiplayer, was the best gaming experience of my
Damn,
entire life.
that's saying a lot coming from you.
Hands down. Yeah, hands down the best gaming
You
experience of my life. Yeah.
for it to even come in the same
Oh
sense it does
yeah, yeah.
Battlefield 3 multiplayer
It
is a
was,
lot.
dude. It was. It was so good. And then like I said, I think they hit season 5 when the Growl came out and like it was just so broken and it was like
Oof, that
no
hurts. I
balancing
know for
and
you that
then,
hurts. Just gamers in general, man.
yeah, dude, it's just tough because I mean, at that point, majority of the development studio rolled off, so you don't have the support. They turned things over mainly to Raven, and it is what it is. I really hope the next Infinity War title, whether it's 2025 or 2026, I think you need a break from Warzone if there's another game in between that, and then I think you need like a Modern Warfare 4 or whatever they're doing, and just wipe the slate clean and go back to almost original copy paste Warzone with the new stuff. I just think Warzone's kind of, when you look at it from the outside perspective now, because I haven't played Call of Duty or covered Call of Duty in a long time, Warzone just seems like a joke to me right now, which is tough because I love playing that game and covering it. So the fact that I haven't felt like I can go in and have fun as a solo in Warzone since original Verdansk, I think is also says a lot too. So hopefully they get it together. I think that's why I think we have a lot of extraction shooter topics coming up here, and maybe that's why I prefer DMZ in Modern Warfare 2 over Warzone because this trend was already going on for a long time prior to even Modern Warfare 2. So the fact that a lot of these big creators are now just like, yeah, I can't play it anymore is pretty wild to me that they made it this long, to be honest. But I think that, thank God, we have a lot of good extraction shooters coming up because those are much more fun and less frustrating for sure.
Yeah, I mean that's kind of why I'm like, man, I might not really ever play Warzone again. Anyway, we have like I'm just like not that sad about it really, to be honest.
Yeah,
Yeah, because you
I
have so many other options now, and I've been
you
saying
do.
that extraction was the way forward, and I'm glad finally Crash decided to join the extraction side.
Right.
After all this
It
time.
got me, man. I'm trying to find the intel on the new Delta Force op is what I'm feverishly searching
Dude,
for.
the first of all, I was just watching like the trailer for like the Delta Force boss, and then seeing. I know we're probably gonna talk about it. Just the fact, I didn't know about this, and I don't know if the Chinese version had that, but like the whole open world situation.
Dude, yeah.
Holy crap, that's gonna turn
That's really
into
cool.
an
Yeah.
insane game, man.
That's like DMZ almost to an extent. But if
Bigger,
they're
way
linking
bigger.
all the
A
maps,
bigger, yeah,
yeah, it's
huge,
great.
man. Like imagine already like yeah, Layali Grove, how big that is
Oh,
already,
it's a huge map.
you
Yeah.
know? And then just adding all the other ones on top of that. I'm just curious though how they're gonna add that like PvE section in an open world
I think that's a
uh
separate
game.
mode.
I
Let's
would
just go ahead
assume
and get
so
into
too.
the news
But
with Delta Force. I'll switch the
yeah.
topic because yeah, Warzone rip, whatever. Um, so yeah, that was really crazy, and that's what I made my video about. Like with Delta Force, they basically like just low key dropped. And a year from now, we're gonna make the game open world. We're gonna hook all the maps together. And I was like,
Yeah. Oh, by the way.
yeah, it kind of was like they just kind of said it and then moved on. And I was like, what? And then they made a
Oh.
tweet where they listed like 3 things, but it was after the character limit to show up on the front part of the tweet without clicking on it. And
Mhm.
after the dot dot dot, if you click on the tweet, it was like the last thing on the list. And a year from now, we're gonna hook all the maps together and make it open world. And I'm like,
By the
why is
way,
no one talking about this? Because like it would be so insane, man. Like that's what I thought Tarkov was gonna do, and that's what I think it's gonna be interesting. Tarkov just made it to where you can extract and appear on another map, like basically skip the menu is all they did.
Yeah.
But dude, like what? what if they get it to where it's kind of like gray zone where you stay in the raid all the time, but you have the massiveness and and like your blacks. So what's crazy is whenever you're looking at the maps to pick what map you want to go in the extraction mode, the black site is a place. So where your base is called your black site. So what if everything's hooked together? You always stay on the server, it keeps running, and you just go to your black site, kind of like you fly back to the base
Yeah, that'd be
in gray
cool.
zone.
Like a persistent
Like a
server type
massive,
ordeal.
yeah, massive multiplayer, like an MMO almost with
Brother,
the thing.
maybe. I'm curious how that'll work out. But
So yeah, sorry guys, we went on a little bit of a tirade there just to tell you we're talking about Delta Force, and in their live stream they did say that a year from now, so we know that content updates are going to come every 3 months with big content updates. That's going to be maps, modes, and operators. There's going to be events and things going on and weekly stuff and in-game events happening in between, but the big updates are every 3 months. But they said a year from now, a year from their launch, it might be a year from their launch in Q1. I'm not sure, like the 1.0 launch when console comes in. But anyway, they said in a year, they want to hook it together and make it open world. So, like,
and you're gonna get 3 major, or was it major update every 3 months as well.
yeah,
So you're gonna get good amount of content to like carry you between now when it goes to the open beta release, and then
yes,
till then. That's insane.
yeah,
They're kind of doing it right. I mean, and especially because this is what I wanted Tarkov to do, was to go to that open
They
world.
were supposed to.
They were supposed. That's the whole reason why I got it back in 2016. So, but yeah, it's interesting to see now. This company's gonna do it, which is insane, and it's not a super hardcore realistic tactical shooter either. I mean, there definitely is some hardcore elements in the extraction mode compared to the normal warfare, but still, I can't wait. Now you can avoid Space City on its own now when you're walking around the map.
yeah. You can walk around Space City.
I just wonder, like, vehicles involved now. I'm guessing it would have to be, man, because like that's just too big to walk.
Yeah, I don't know how that's gonna be. If it'll be vehicles or if it'll be like a loading screen or what that'll be like. I don't know.
Yeah, because now if you do vehicles, in my opinion, it should only be transport ones. But there is that helicopter boss as well too. That's coming. It's a helicopter. That's
Yeah, we
a
talked about that
Blusa, right?
last week.
Yeah, so it's like, we have that's gonna be there too. So is there gonna be a way to fly around the map in like a basic transport chopper? Is it gonna be like a little bird? So
That would be really cool. The other thing that's interesting, I might make a video about it tomorrow. They're gonna have a technical test prior. Did you guys see this prior to the main one?
Yes, I applied for it, so we'll see. I think it's
Ye-
on Monday, next Monday, the 25th, right?
Yep, yep. Or that's not Monday. It's the 20. It is Monday.
Yeah.
I'm a ding dong. Yeah, that's when I get back. Um, so there's gonna be uh like a closed technical test, but it's gonna have everything that the open beta is gonna have. So it's gonna have like it's even gonna have the microtransaction system. So that's gonna be pretty crazy to be able to see. So if there's a link floating around out there, I believe the easiest way to find it that I can explain for you to find it is go to their X, and it's a few tweets down. There's a Google form you can fill out to try to get access to it to play early. But I'm gonna be trying to play and stream that like as much as possible in the lead up, as well as just everything going on. And
yeah.
then they announced the PvE mode, which I thought was cool. So I could foresee them adding like new missions and stories with like PvE type modes. It kind of felt like maybe like Insurgency Sandstorm is what the vibes it gave me when you play that PvE mode and you have to do like the objectives and move down the bridges and stuff like that.
I love that.
There's just gonna be something for everyone in this game. You're gonna have your battlefield type modes. You're gonna have your PvE, your PvP, your extraction, all we need is a good 6v6 bomb mode, and it's a wrap for
Game over.
Crash. But even in general, a nice little smaller team based or game mode would be nice as well too, added to the mix, which could be a thing because they're adding other game modes as well too. And they said mini game modes, I believe, on one of their tweets. They said
Yeah,
they're
they
adding like
talked about like
mini game modes as well.
I don't remember what they called it, but like instead of playing on the whole map, you play at like the center POI. It's like a smaller version of the extraction, like faster pace, like a small arena type version of it.
Exactly.
I know they're gonna have
Which
modes like that.
I mean, like they could, yeah, sure, team deathmatch or a free for all on those size maps would be great, but I think eventually you'll see a bomb mode or some sort of
Dude,
one life round
don't
mode.
toy with me, man.
Dude, come on, that's like the only way to. I mean, they've already surprised with open world. I wouldn't be surprised if they did that as well too. So and what Chewy said, Battlefield did that back in the day. They had like the squad rush as well too. It was
Yeah,
like
yep.
3 teams of 4. Just trying to arm a bomb, move on to the next point, stuff like
The
that. So
MCOM, baby.
the MCOM,
Yeah, so
arm the MCOM.
man, and
Rush,
I think
that was
the
best.
specialist
It could be
would
like an MCOM, yeah.
I think the specialist would be okay in a bomb
Yeah,
mode, kind of
I
like
know.
Siege.
I know that everyone got freaked out when they saw that wingsuit, and we all confirmed last
Not
week
funny.
that's not a specialist. So, but
Oh, dude, people were so mad for a bit about that.
yeah, and then people
I
still kind of compare it to like, why would you play this instead of Battlefield? It's like it's the same thing. It's like no, it's not. I'm sorry.
I was just getting ready to say what Teamer said in chat. I also think they should do a battle royale, and it's ready. It's easy. It should be. It's not that far from the
I
extraction mode.
swore I saw something that they might.
I was gaslighting people on Twitter. It could have been me because I was
No,
like
I
for
think I saw,
the
it's
wingsuit
like
thing.
I think maybe.
I don't know. For the wingsuit thing, I was like, oh, that's not an operator. That's how you drop into the battle royale. And like everybody's like, what? There's gonna be a battle royale. I was just I was trolling on the.
No,
on
but no, I
Twitter.
remember seeing something before that though, that there might be plans for it, which I mean it's a rumor and I'm sure it probably not super far fetched either. So I don't know. I think the difference between Delta Force and Delta Force, I didn't have any expectations, I would say, with this game in particular. I mean, once I knew Delta Force was getting revamped, and then it came out as Delta Force Hawk Ops, and it was a couple years into the future. It was like, okay, it was gonna change regardless. But when I saw how like similar it was to Battlefield, it was just different because Battlefield had this whole mentality of like, this is for you, the players, and Delta Force is like, we're just gonna just throw everything in there for you guys to see what happens. Like, whatever you guys like. It was just also I think the movement on the specialist are a lot, it's a lot less intense than it
It
is
is
on
toned down,
Battlefield.
yeah.
Yeah,
So it's not
big
there.
time.
It's almost like it's just a class system almost with special abilities. It's not. It doesn't really feel like like you said, like the specialist system. It doesn't feel like a bunch of heroes running around a map.
Yeah, they're not. So far, they haven't been like too ultra strong. You can get killed based on that, sometime. And it's really annoying, but it's not terrible. It's not overbearing all the time. Like I feel like half the time, I get shot by like the recon arrow with the wall hacks. It lasts so short, but I also hear the arrow and see where it comes from and know where they are too.
Really gets
Yeah,
away
so
from
you
the
have a
system.
counter. You already have like a natural counter to it instead of having to implement like some kind of perk or something like that. And on top of that, it lets you know, hey, if you keep moving, I'm gonna spot you again. So you just stop moving for like 5 seconds, not even something like that, and then it goes away and you can keep fighting, keep moving. Also, footstep audio is actually pretty decent in this game, especially on the extraction mode. I know I can pretty much tell if they're above me, below me, and approximately how far they are if they're, especially if they're in the same building as well too. So um also I think the last play test when I was doing some extraction runs, I didn't really get too much interference between, because I know when we first played it, it was like the footsteps between the AI and footsteps between the players seemed so similar And in this playtest, it seemed a little bit. I don't know. Just I can tell which one was a player, which one was AI. Maybe because I was just used to like how the AI moves. You know, they're just sprinting back and forth and like in the same like box
Yeah.
radius. So maybe that's why. But yeah,
I do have some intel from the creator Discord. I'm not sure if I'm supposed to show these screenshots or not, so I'm not going to. But how the test is going to work is Monday the 25th is going to be zero dam. Warfare is going to have threshold, attack, and defend. Then later in the day, they're going to open up King of the Hill on threshold, and then Tuesday. So they're just adding content. Tuesday, Layali Grove is going to be open. The new Shafted map is going to be open on Tuesday. Wednesday, they're going to open up Operation Serpentine. So that's the PvE mode you're going to be able to try out on Wednesday. And then the Trench Lines map is going to be in Warfare. Thursday, they're going to do the new Extraction map. Brackish is going to be open with Brackish with Serpentine. And then Trench Line map with some different modes. And then Hill of Iron is the name. And then is the game mode name. I don't know what that is. And then Friday, they're opening up, once people have leveled up some, they're going to be opening up Space City. And Operation Serpentine will be open as well.
I mean,
So
dude,
there's like a whole week. The whole week ahead next week is going to be all Delta Force.
Seeing that trench line map with the trailer again, the guy just gets blown up with the ragdoll effect of his body. Just
yeah.
I forget too. There's a campaign coming too. Just on top, just the cherry on top.
I think that's going to be paid for, isn't it?
Campaign. Is that an
I think
extra
that's
thing
paid.
you have to pay for?
I think that's paid content, but I'm just going off memory, not off actual stuff.
I don't mind. I guess it's a free to play game. I don't know. It feels like, I mean, it's single player, so it's not like anything crazy. But damn, that kind of sucks. I was kind of looking forward to that.
So then, how will that work? And then it'll close so the next week, and then it'll reopen again on the 5th for everybody on that Thursday.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't know how I feel about the whole campaign thing though. Now I got me thinking. You know, I'm not saying the whole. Oh, now you know Delta Force sucks. For this game crap. You know, I'm not saying that, but it's just like, you know.
It depends on how much it is.
Like, it depends. Yeah. That's true. It depends on the price. If it's $60, dude, for like a 2-hour,
I don't think it will
campaign. You know, then that's.
But
that's
it will be probably. It's going to be paid, but it is going to be in Unreal 5. The campaign's Unreal Engine 5. They try to make it look really nice.
Oh, interesting. Okay, so you
like
probably you might. I wonder if you'll like earn anything like cosmetic wise for multiplayer as well. So
I don't know.
I'm curious.
That would be interesting.
It'd be nice. I mean, I like the more realistic operators, and it'd be nice to like earn something that's like a little bit more realistic looking, just because of the campaign.
Agree. Yeah, the $20 range doesn't sound terrible if they put a bunch of work into it. Honestly, I can see myself putting so many hours into this game with not paying a dime. Because they did reiterate on the live stream, no pay to win. You cannot buy. They said it several times. You will not be able to buy in-game currency in this game. So
nice.
But your trade-off is you're gonna have wacky skins. You're gonna have crazy skins. So like, that's your trade-off. That's just the deal. That's what it is. Like, you have everything. You're not gonna be able to have a free game with no skins, free maps, and free everything, and not be able to buy in-game currency. There's no way to make money. So if they keep it like this with no pay-to-win stuff, and I don't think it's outlandish.
You know,
it's gonna get wild. I think.
I don't want to see Teletubbies, man.
You might, dude. Freaking COD, man. Teletubbies with shotguns, dude. In hardcore,
I get it. Like,
dreams.
I don't mind like gold skins. Heck, I don't even mind a pink skin. I've seen, you know, I remember. I think was it. Oh, the cat knocked something over.
Freaking the fuck out.
I think if I remember, Black Ops 1, had a like the old Black Ops had a interesting pink tiger camouflage or something like that, or something along those lines. So, you know, yeah, we'll see. We'll just see how crazy it gets.
Alrighty, yeah, I think yeah, we're moving away from COD. The world is healing.
Thank God.
The world is healing, guys. All right. There's
So
a change in the winds.
on the I can feel it in my bones. On the next one, let's talk a little bit about the Gray Zone release. We did get a little bit of information today about AI changes. Basically, they're kind of being nerfed all the way around. I heard from a few people that played the NDA play test that they played well. The AI was a lot more reasonable. So that's going to help the game a bunch. And then creators, you guys probably too will be able to play early on the 24th. Again, super bummed. It's running up right against my trip, man, that I was planning on being gone. So I'm still going to try to have like Night Ops gameplay from me on YouTube on the 24th. Really going to try to pull that off, but yeah, we'll see how it goes. The stuff that they talked about today on another devlog number 7, been so many of these. They talked about some info that I thought was of noting was you'll experience a day-night cycle at a 2-to-1 ratio. So you're going to have 3 hours of real-time gameplay reflecting a full in-game. So it sounds like you're going to have 2 hours in the daylight and an hour at night is how how it's going to work, and how it's going to trade. And then 22 new tasks that are going to be there. And then they won't have any kind of night vision stuff, so you should be able to like capitalize on taking out the AI at night. And then they did some in-depth stuff with the NVGs that I missed. You can see on screen they did some comparisons of the different NVGs and how they look. Also with like lasers and lights and how they look. It looks really cool. And then the balancing adjustments I think that most people are interested in, at least I'm interested in, is the damn think stupid AI. I hope the AI is like decent.
Yeah.
And I know
thought originally the AI wasn't fixed on the last playtest. From what I've heard, like they specifically stated like, hey, this
wasn't the new one yet.
Yeah. So it's like we don't know what the new AI will be like until we finally get it, which is what I'm worried about, really.
Yeah. We'll see. We'll have to see what it's like, but that's gonna be the 27th. So we have Arena Breakout the 20th, a play test of the 25th or the 26th of Delta Force. Then this, and then launching on the 5th, and then this on the 27th, and then Stalker on the 20th. Like,
yeah, it's we are packed with stuff, dude. I haven't been on the computer until now recently. Like I just don't have time to be sitting here, and now I need to do all this. Like, damn, you're really screwing up my schedule. You're filling up my schedule, guys. All right, relax.
A lot of games.
But it's also games that I've been looking forward to, even after watching Crash Play Arena Breakout a little bit more, and I remember I was watching you as well too, Buff, and I was like trying to get like a feel for it, and then seeing Justin. I think I was watching him stream on Twitch a while back, and I was like, okay, all right, and I could see myself getting into this. So sucks it's not on Steam, but
man, you guys are killing it with the segues. Let's get into it.
You're welcome.
You're welcome. You guys are pros, man. So with Arena Breakout with the new season, and I'll just so I don't forget, you touched on the Steam release. I was waiting for Steam. I was like, I'm not like ultra dying to get into Arena Breakout. So it's just like, man, I'm gonna wait for Steam. Like, I don't want another launcher. I'll just wait for Steam. And then I got into the season 1 creator play test, and I was like, okay, I'm gonna play this now, because like there was enough stuff and enough like improvements. They're not even talking about how crazy the graphical improvements are, which is wild. There's enough for me to bite the bullet and put another launcher on, because season 1 looks that good to me. It feels that good to me from what I played. But the CEO put out a really statement that kind of put me at ease a little bit. It's still annoying, but he said, when they do release on Steam, once the game is to where they consider to be 1.0 and they release on Steam, you can transfer your character over to Steam and not lose any progression. So all the stuff you're doing now on the launcher.
That's what I want to start now. Okay.
Yeah. So that's why I've been playing the heck out of it, man. been playing a ton of it and trying to get leveled up before the new season. And I kind of think I got into it at a good time, because I think if I'd have been playing it this whole time, I'd be kind of bored of it because there's not a ton of content yet. But now I'm playing like in the couple, like a few days and weeks to the lead up of this. It's gonna be just right. I'm getting leveled up. I'm getting some money put back. I'm doing some missions. They're really putting a ton of stuff into it. Revamping the missions are going to be better, more of them. And we talked about this being pay to win and it being frustrating, but just as I've played it and put time into it, Tacti made a video about it, right? Like how like he was kind of wrong about how much it looks like. Um, the pay to win is just not. It's not really a thing, and to me, it. I would rather there be without it, because there is a chance that somebody pays a bunch of money and has good gear, right? But that you can play the game and buy that exact same gear too. Yeah. And exactly. I think it's been really pretty generous with the matchmaking. It's been matchmaking me with players with similar gear and similar level to me so far. I've noticed. I've been surviving pretty well solo, just kind of sneaking around too, when no one else is on. So it's been working pretty well. Justin made a really unique analogy. Did I talk about that last week?
No.
I don't remember if I did, but he made a really interesting analogy on Twitter. He said when people were complaining about that being pay to win, he said, how is it any different than COD and the Battle Pass? And you guys don't complain about that. He's like, in COD, they release the Battle Pass. The new weapons are on that Battle Pass, and a lot of times they're super strong. You can pay unlock tokens. You can pay real money to unlock those tiers early and get those guns early. It's the same in Arena Breakout. There's guns that are more expensive. You have to play to get enough money to unlock them, or you can buy money in game and unlock them quicker, but you can still get to them. So he was equating it to being the same as like the Battle Pass system in COD. And I was like, it's a little bit imperfect, but like it gets you thinking about, I kind of made me think, wow, like, yeah, you're really just like paying money to essentially
get stuff a little earlier. That's it.
Unlock it sooner. So that kind
of unless you already have the money. Like Justin is a good example. He's got 46 million in game just from playing the game,
and hasn't spent a single dime.
Yeah, he won't have it. He can buy all the new stuff immediately with in-game currency, and also without spending real money.
In the Battle Pass, when you upgrade your to the tokens to get to those weapons, isn't it just a blueprint, but you still have to unlock the weapon to customize it? Or is it you just earn it and then that's it?
I'm not sure, to be honest. I think with the new
even it doesn't really make much of a difference either way. It still holds up, you know. It still holds up in court, guys. Regardless, but at the same time, you know, there really isn't that much of a difference.
Because day one, you can just go in and if you have the money, get whatever gun you want. So I'm assuming I don't know why it would be different.
Yeah, and again, I mean, you pay for money, but you know, a well-placed shot can kill that, you know, whale of a spender to some just normal free-to-play gamer. So
and I mean, and if you think about that, and if you're like, if that's the pill you have to swallow to get a free-to-play game that does really well with anti-cheat, as well as it's not going to have crazy cosmetics if you're into immersion and you want a dark, gritty kind of adult game. Yeah, like that's not the worst price to pay, to be honest.
Not at all.
It would be if they didn't have it. If they didn't have buy the in-game currency, it would be an instant buy for me on the Battle Pass every year just to support them, even if I didn't play that much, because it's free to play and they're doing such a good job with with updates and with anti-cheat and stuff like that. And I did not realize how amazing and imperative a kill cam is until like this last week of playing Arena Breakout. I think so. I've only played a week or so, and I think I have 4 million. And I've been playing solo, so like I'll log in, I'll do a scav run, rat it out, try to sneak around and get as much loot as I can, and then do a solo PMC run, and that's usually a game session for me, and I've built up to like 4 million.
Hell yeah!
So it's not terrible. But the kill cam, man. So Like, just for instance, I had a raid yesterday where I was on farm and I shot a scav like pretty far away, and then I saw another scav peek me, and I was usually have a couple seconds, especially at that distance. You have a couple seconds to line up the headshot. I lined up the headshot and I just got deleted when that scav peeked me. And I was like, I had so many questions. I'm like, was that a player scav that just hit the shot of his life? Was that a player scav with a 1911 that's cheating? Or was it like,
hmm
or was that actually a player? I was like, what the hell happened? And I watched the kill cam and I was actually slow walking sideways and I crested the hill while I was aiming at the scav. There was a dude with an SKS walking this way. So a different PMC that I didn't even know had an easy me standing there, dinked
Oh,
me in the head with his SKS because I wasn't even looking at him. So like
wow.
I would have had no idea. I would have walked away from that raid being like, what the dude, what that was so sus. Like
Yeah,
that could
and
have been
not
my
knowing
first
who it
cheater.
was, and then if the name popped up, you would have reported the guy who killed you legitly,
Yeah, because I thought
not
it was
knowing. Yeah,
because I thought it was that scav across the map that dinked me with a pistol. And I was
yeah,
like,
which would have been
but then I was like, oh, okay, like I get it. And then I had another one where I was on the woods map, the valley map. I was going around the edge. I was about to extract, and another guy ran up to me, and I felt bad because he was doing the same thing I was. He was playing the edge because he was solo, but I heard him first, so I stopped and I mowed him down. I felt kind of bad. Um, but then that made two more PMCs come towards me. I killed another guy in a bush, and then I just died. And I'm like, I killed the other one. I was like, what the hell was that? And again, same situation. Another guy crested the hill, and like, it's so nice to have like that closure. I'm so much less frustrated than when you die in Tarkov and you
yeah.
don't know why. But I can watch that kill cam and I can be like, oh, okay, I get it. Like, yeah,
hmm
GG's. Like that
hmm
happened. Like that's part of it. So I don't know. The kill cam has been like one of those sleeper features that
Yeah,
is just
it's
huge to
huge.
me.
It should have been introduced into games like Tarkov a long time ago.
I think it would help with players' frustration immensely. It's also really good for helping with cheaters because you can see it shows you your character through a wall, so you can see if they track you or anything.
Yeah,
So
instead of
far I
having to like
haven't.
download cheats yourself and then act like you're QE peeking someone just to see if they're looking through walls. That's insane.
Yeah, but now you can see it real easy in the kill cam, and then it's just like I don't know. I think I would have been a lot less frustrated with Tarkov if I just knew how I died from where I died
Yeah.
and if it was legit or not. Like that's then you could do conspiracy theory that Nikita's not putting a kill cam in Tarkov because he doesn't want to know how many people are cheating. We could go down that rabbit hole. But,
I've heard that before.
I don't know, man. But from what you've seen in season one, what are you most looking forward to?
So yeah, I haven't watched too much gameplay, but I I unfortunately didn't get to play it because I was sick. But yeah, like the MDR and the new TV station map and the armory expansion, I think I'm pretty excited for. So and the graphics. So I really, like I said, I didn't watch any gameplay when it was happening the other week. So getting in, playing with the MDR and that new TV station map and the armory expansion, I think is gonna be really nice.
Yeah, I think you're gonna like the Vector too. The nine, it's a
Definitely.
9 and a 45 Vector. I used the
Yeah.
Vector in the creator playtest, and I had AP 45 ammo in there. It was a bullet hose
Oh,
with
I
no
bet.
recoil, dude. It
I
was
bet.
so sick.
Yeah, that's
So
gonna be good too.
that was cool. There's 8 new guns, and I think the battle pass will be kind of cool. The skins are really cool. There's gonna be weapon skins, but they're like reasonable. They're like rattle cans. Like if you were a dude like trying to survive and didn't want your gun to glint in the sunlight, you rattle can your gun,
Yeah,
like that's what these
give that
skins are like.
silhouette. Yeah.
So they're like pretty, they're still with it, they're still gritty. um so I'm excited to, I'm pretty sure, man, like, I just, I get it, but I don't subscribe to the school of thought. You're gonna get the people that hate on it and say that I'm a trash can because it's 10 cent, and it's like, dude, and that's, you just, it's a good game. It's free. The developer's working on it. I appreciate it. So I'll probably buy like the battle pass to support it. That's just how I look at stuff. You can say what you want about Tencent, and you can try to like virtue signal me for technically supporting Tencent, but while you walk around with the iPhone in your pocket that they literally put nets around the factory to catch the people trying to kill themselves, like, and you just walk around with an iPhone and
Yeah,
don't
that's
care. So like I just think I just think we're so far from like being able to make a difference by what we play and stuff. I think you just have to like stay in your lane and play
Yeah.
what you want to. I don't think I think I saw No Clip asked a really good question. If season 1 included the AI companion.
Oh,
So
no clip. What's up, dude?
this game is of eventually going to have AI teammates that you can just talk to, almost like Chat GPT, and they'll answer you. In the trailer, I saw the thing that was striking to me was the player asked, "How's the weather today?" And the AI was like, "The weather's fine. It's sunny and nice outside. Now keep your gun up and pay attention," or something like. They'll talk to you.
That's cool.
But I don't. I think
I
they
need you
said
to start twerking.
Yeah,
Start,
right.
yeah.
Go distract the enemy. Twerk in the middle of the field.
Go up on top of the bridge and begin to dump that dumper. Yeah.
Hey, I gotta pop out and grab a grocery order really quick. So I'm just gonna go on mute for like 2 minutes.
Do
I'll
your
bring
All
thing,
it
do your
back.
thing, do your thing.
All good. Sounds good. So then, yeah, I don't think what I heard was I saw on Twitter that it's not going to be ready for this season yet. Like they're still working on it.
No, no, it's quite some time away. I think I remember watching Tacti's video. He said the same thing. It's like it's not anywhere near ready, so I wasn't expecting it season 1.
Yeah, and I
Plus,
get that.
plus
Yeah,
if it was ready, they would be showcasing it a lot.
it'd be that's probably going to
Yeah.
be in an upcoming season. That's probably going to be like one of the marquee features that like they're going
So
to
you
do.
got that's a cool mug you got there, man.
Thanks, man.
Is that based off one of the dogs you got, or is that just some?
No, my wife, before she took on the arduous task of being a stay-at-home mom of 2 kids under 2 years old, was a registered vet tech at the vet clinic. So people got her like doggy stuff all the time,
Oh.
and we got her this doggy mug. And I thought I love like goofy mugs on stream. So like,
Dude, real quick, my wife got me like this mug. It's like a revolver handle, and the actual like chamber like spins, but then it's like connected to a
that's
mug.
sweet.
It's so cool. Yeah.
That's sweet.
I'll bring it. I'll bring it one down stream.
I also have this one. This is a one-off though. Don't get excited. It's a little crash merch.
Ooh. You know what's funny? My parents were the first one that they bought one of my mugs that was like the campfire metal ones that had my logo on it and everything. And my parents were like the first one to buy it. It was cool just to see it in general. But yep.
But 10, yeah, like Finn is saying, man, like
Merch.
10 cent is like too big to boycott. At this point, I feel like so. And if you
people
if you want to avoid them because
issue.
of if you want to avoid them because of that, like that's totally your prerogative, and I get it and I admire it. But the game's just like it gets me away from COD, man, and it's like a game that I want to play, and it's really fun. So I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, it's not even just
I don't
like
know what else to
10 cent
say.
owning the games, but like, I mean, they everything from like mobile Call of Duty to like big games. Like I'm looking at a list right here, right now, just to show
Of
people.
what 10 cent owns? Yeah.
So you got League of Legends, Fortnite. It's a minority stake in Fortnite, Epic Games specifically.
Yeah. So anything made with Unreal Engine, 10 cent has a hand in. So
yeah,
keep that in mind.
yeah, exactly. You know, even if it's a small one, you know, it could be like 15%, 10%, but still they have some kind of say in it. The people who make Call of Duty Mobile, Timmy Studios, Clash of Clans, no one really cares about that here. PUBG Mobile, Path of Exile. I know that's a big one for a lot of D&D fans, stuff like that. So also 10% of Ubisoft is owned by Tencent, you know, so any
think that
Ubisoft title
my
has that, you know, on top
my
of that too,
conspiracy theory is that it's going to be more soon.
that too. So, you know, that is a thing. But they not just only own those stakes in those companies, but also like multiple studios underneath them as well too. So, and that's just way too much to list as well too. So,
Yeah,
yeah,
it's crazy.
so they're going from owning parts of companies to eventually start making their own games as well too. So they're gonna be here for a while, man.
Yeah, they're kind of in everything, to be honest.
Yeah.
So it's like I'm just gonna play. I'm to the point where, man, I'm just gonna stay in my lane and play what I enjoy. I think if it was like really like terrible pay to win, like that would take the fun away from me and I wouldn't play it. But I just like getting into it, I've realized that it's not game breaking for me, and I don't know, it's kind of weird, but
Is it? I mean, and also like I'm waiting for like the new weather effects too, because like that was
Yeah,
like a
that's
big
in here.
thing as well. Oh, it is in season 1.
Yep. Yeah. Yeah. And I
Oh, well
played
then
it
there
too.
we go. See?
Dude, it's
Yeah,
sick too. If you have a face mask and you put your like face mask down and go out in the
I did
rain,
see
it like
that.
all the rain looks super realistic. So you have to like take it off.
That's
And
pretty cool. And it's like, and also it's like, so it's not a bad looking game. On top of that, I know people kept comparing it to like the mobile version, and that's what I originally tried. Originally was the mobile version. I remember trying to like find like one of those like emulators for phones on the computer just to try it out, but wasn't possible. But and that was to be honest, that was keeping me away. It was the mobile controller, and now it's on PC and it looks good and it actually plays well and
can I
it's
do
coming out with good content. So
can I do one of my patented crash talk out on my ass conspiracy theories right now?
do it.
I kind of think they released a kind of dolled up mobile version for PC port. And I think this season 1, based on the graphics difference I saw, is a true, like they finally had time to optimize it and retexture it and relight it for PC. Because the graphical improvement from what I'm playing now to what I was playing, it's like the season 1 update is huge. And they're taking the minimum specs down to 12 gigs of memory and a 2 gig graphics card. You can like play this thing on a 1060 from back in the day or something, man.
Damn.
Like it's super, super, super optimized. And I kind of feel like they just like kind of got the mobile version kind of dolled up and released it for season 0. And now this season 1, the graphics, the lighting, the textures is like a true PC port, I feel like.
That could be a reason. Yeah, maybe they just it gave them time to actually work on it. So not
That's what I feel
surprised.
like. And then yeah, I'm trying to think if there's anything else with Arena Breakout. I'm just playing it now and just getting.
We all got to play together, is what? Because you can
Yeah,
do
that's next.
4-man, so it can be like us
Yeah.
three
Yeah,
and
what's
Justin
okay?
and
I was like,
whoever
what was
else.
the
Like,
most? Yeah,
I
I
think
want to
that's
get
the biggest thing though too, is like if you're doing lockdown or forbidden, you need a team with comms. And like whenever I'm playing with randoms, it's just like, they don't speak English, they don't talk, so you don't know what's going on. So if you had a dedicated 4-man squad, like you're gonna dominate the map for sure.
That's what I want to do because I've been playing like sneaky because I'm solo and you can run
Right.
up against quads, so
Yeah.
you gotta.
Yeah.
But
You need comms for sure.
and I want to get built up money and then I want to run with you guys, like the 3 of us and Justin or something would be super fun and just play aggressive and just
I think
wipe
we
people
would.
out.
I think, especially you jump into lockdown and or forbidden with a good 4-man, like
you'd
I
own
think
the map
we would have a
probably.
lot of we would play really well for sure. I think that's where you're gonna get some really fun gameplay for
How's
sure.
the medical system in the game too? Is it complicated
No,
or is
you
it
can.
pretty?
It's like Delta Force. Like there's hotkeys. Like it'll
You stop the
suggest
bleed.
you. It'll
It's
suggest what you need. You just hit V and it'll do like it'll whatever the game deems that you need first will do it, or you can hotkey 5-4 just like Tarkov, but it's not complicated at all.
I think it's a tad bit more granular than Delta Force, but you still have that hotkey. So if you have everything in your pocket, it'll automatically tell you on a hotkey like what you need next: painkillers, heal
Yeah.
the bleed,
Or will
bring
it
the
let
health
you
back.
know as you go along?
The hotkey will change to what you need, so you can just keep hitting. Like I have mine to X, so I can
Oh,
just hit X and stop my bleed. Then I hit X and regain health.
X
And
It'll be
again,
like
then it goes,
pain,
dude.
bandage, med
That is a
supplies,
good quality of
surgery.
life feature
Yeah,
for a really decent tactical
it's
extraction
good.
game.
yeah,
Wow.
and
It makes it quick, which is
so
nice.
there's stuff like that, and then there's stuff like being able to look at a mini map, and also like being able to see your teammates are flagged, like who your teammates are. And people are
Yeah.
going to be like, well, that's just I'm going to play. That's not hardcore enough to play Tarkov. I'm like, there's a difference between hardcore and a pain in the ass.
Right.
And it's just like I can pull up a mini map in this game and look at it, and everybody, especially the people who are learning it, and I pull it up as I learn the maps, I pull it up less and less because I know where I'm at.
Correct.
But
Yeah.
if you play Tarkov, you just have that shit on a second monitor.
Where do
Don't
I extract in Tarkov is always like, where
yeah,
is this extract? But that's
there's
the
not
learning
a
curve.
Mhm.
there's not a single one of these people that say that actually learn the map and learn the extracts where they are without looking it up on the wiki.
No, exactly.
So
Exactly.
don't
You
try to get on
can't. You
don't get
can't
on your
learn it without
tactical
And if
hardcore
there
high
is
horse.
someone that is doing that, it's like such a low percentage anyways, it doesn't make a difference in that
There's
argument. So
Yeah,
just
yeah.
I'm getting high horse by these tactical Andes that are just doing the exact same thing. They're just pulling up a monitor on their second monitor instead of staying in the game, pulling up a map.
Yeah.
Come on,
Yeah.
man. Come on.
Yeah, I agree. I think, like, again, this is the more user-friendly version of Tarkov. So I'm really pumped, especially the weather system, the new guns.
Just
Um,
it
I
takes a lot. I'm sorry, Buff. Go ahead.
No, I was just gonna say, like I said last week, like I'm pumped for to season one looks great. I really can't wait to play it and see the graphical improvements also, but also just like season two, season three, season four, the in-game events that the mobile version has that they're gonna bring into this, those kind of things. Like this game, I think is gonna be, it's good. It's really fun now. It's gonna be really great come season one, but 6 months down the road, it's gonna be how much better. So I think that's what's exciting with this is you're getting huge quality of life improvements and more content versus like how we started the show with Call of Duty, right? You just know you're getting more trashy content, which is going to make the game worse, I feel like, at this point. So, I'm excited. Everything we talked about today, minus Warzone troubles, I think is we have games that are going to be amazing the next month or so and way better in 6 months.
Agree. Yeah. I mean, it just the quality of life stuff in this. I mean, you can say that it's like not as hardcore as Tarkov or whatever, but it just to me, it just takes away a level of bullshit so I can play the game.
Yes.
And I can focus on gunfights, positioning, working with my team, my missions, and I don't have to pull up a wiki. I don't have to see what I need for this thing. I don't have to see what I need to do or where I
Yeah.
need to go or what like the time. Like I can just stay in the game, and
Yeah,
I
I'm glad
like
they
it.
stuck with the gritty, realistic look too, because I know
And
everyone
that's going
kind
to
of
be cool
was.
too. It's
Yeah.
an accessible game, but also if that's one of your things, if you like the immersion, you like the gritty, dark, like kind of an adult game, like it's just going to stay that way probably.
Mhm.
So,
Good stuff.
all right,
Good.
Stalker 2, Blue.
Hell
The
yeah.
time is nigh.
2 days.
It's
Really
very
1 day for
nigh.
some people already, It's already this
Yeah.
day's almost over, so yeah, really just 1 day.
And I
Uh
don't know of much what to talk about because I'm not like super into Stalker. I always rely on
Me neither.
Blue for the Stalker stuff,
Never
but it's
played
like
it, but I'm excited.
what does this, I guess the discussion we could have is like what is the release of this highly anticipated game amongst all these other extraction shooters, like how is it going to affect it, like because I feel
yeah.
like Stalker 2 release is a big deal.
It is. Other extraction games won't matter because it's not an extraction title. It's really more of a single player, you know, story driven open world game. So it's more of like, I mean, it's hard. It's really hard to compare it to other games because there really is no game that has like the A life system, which is like what the NPCs do in the background. Like the NPCs have their own life and quests and jobs to do in the background, and they want to survive as much as you do in certain situations. So you have that, but I've been seeing videos and I've watched a couple people talk about it. Some people have already gotten their hands on it, but they can't say anything yet until the reviews come out until day of. But I don't, maybe we'll see some stuff come out tomorrow, but I have seen some videos on YouTube just saying that like they're a little worried about optimization
That's what I'm
because they
seeing.
haven't seen, too well, especially when we talked about like the specs of it. They did say it will run at 4K 60 FPS on the Xbox Series X. So for console wise, 4K 60 is not bad, for this
No, that's
generation,
good.
especially for a UE5 game as well too. So this is an Unreal Engine 5 game, and there's definitely a lot of detail and textures and distance and stuff like that. So but then on top of that, a life has been an issue for some people talking about it on videos. Like, it's usually like, oh, it's like almost like when they talk on videos, they go, I know a friend of a friend, but in reality, it's most likely them talking about it. But they're just under NDA, they can't say anything. Um, people saying that like the a life is feels more to be desired with as well too. Um, so, I mean, we'll see. I mean, the A Life system also people like hold it up in like such high regard in the past Stalker games, but it wasn't perfect back then either. There was definitely like there's like a meme and joke running in the community about like a Stalker Clear Sky, which is the second game in the series of the trilogy. And it's like you have to mod that game just so you don't get grenade spams over and over again. Like that was like a big issue. It's like you'll be behind cover and it's like heat seeking grenades just come out of nowhere and land right next to your feet. So um and hopefully the AI doesn't do that, but then we'll see, you know. So we'll just have to see until the game comes out tomorrow. Some people already have their hands on it. Some people, you know, they just can't say anything. And you know, I'm here just watching like on Twitter, like Stalker 2 News, talk about stuff and you know, watching YouTube videos. But optimization seems to be the biggest issue, specifically. And I don't see anything wrong with content wise. There's plenty of content as well. You're gonna get like they said over 10,000 choices pretty much within the game. So anything that you talk, do, or say will affect another, you know, aspect of it. So you have that, and then oh man, the yeah, and also like the documentary on the game was really nice to watch too beforehand. So if you want to get like if you want to see what the game you know development history was, I'd go watch that war game documentary. But also everything leading up to it, it's just like okay, it's now's the time because this game's been delayed a few times. The original release date was 2012. So it's finally time for this game to come out, and then for it to also include mod support day one on both
That's
PC
crazy.
and Xbox as well too. So it's like that's another thing too, because even if there is things wrong with the game, people are most likely going to fix that pretty rapidly. I wouldn't be surprised if there's already a build out there already that's been leaked somehow that people have been working on for mods and stuff like that. So you'll see mods like day one, you know, for sure, especially for how big of a title and project this is. So,
And mods are
um,
passionate people, modders.
yeah, but it's like it brings up the question. It's like, okay, well, why couldn't the game devs fix the game? Why do you have to leave it up to modders? And it's like, I mean, look, if it's a good, solid foundation, if it's a good game overall, mods are just gonna add on top of that. Um, and I'm a big proponent of mods because I just want players to have the freedom to do what they want, even if it's changed the game entirely if they want to. But it's just like you know, um, and some people might not agree with that, but I do want to see what mods come out. I know also, on top of that, it's funny because like for there's another major mod called Stalker Gamma for
I've
it's a
watched
mod
that.
pack for Stalker Anomaly, and what was it? It's coming out December 5th. The next update. It's like, bro, I don't think anyone's gonna be really playing that, depending on how well Stalker 2 launches as well too. So, um, but yeah, also what Chewie said, like if it wasn't for mods, I think, and people will probably get upset at me for this one because there's a big passionate community about that, but I don't think Stalker would have had the fan base today as it if it didn't have mods, you know. So
That's where I
it's
found it was like
yeah,
Drewski and all that stuff, all that gameplay, and
yeah,
that's I think why I'm really excited for it now is just watching you, Drewski, other people play these mods. It really makes the game a lot of fun and enjoyable that many years later.
exactly. So
It's pretty cool.
yeah, I know. So we'll just see, and it's right around the corner, man. And also we have the times on when it launches as well too. They just released today in the morning. So on the West Coast, Seattle, you have 8 o'clock Pacific Standard Time. New York East Coast, you have 11 o'clock Eastern Standard Time. South America, Brazil, you have 1 p.m. London, you have 4 p.m. Prague 5, Kiev, Ukraine 6, and then you have what do we got? Beijing at 12 o'clock at the morning. Um, Australia, you have 3 o'clock in the morning, and what is that? Tokyo 1 o'clock in the morning, and Auckland, New Zealand, you have 5 o'clock in the morning. So uh yeah, I'll be up live at 11. So I'll be streaming that day
I'll have
one, you
to.
know.
I was gonna ask you, Blue, because I have a 4070 something, not a base 4070, like the more
Like a
advanced one.
super, right? I
Yeah,
think. Or
Super KL, something like that. I'll have to. I was
okay,
gonna
yeah.
look up my specs. I was curious. I saw the specs of it. I was like, man, I don't know if I can run this or not.
You
But
Yeah,
have
with that.
exactly what they recommend for running the game at 1440p to get 60 FPS on high.
yeah, I think that was 60.
So
So I should be okay. Yeah, I'm excited. Like I want to definitely check and make sure I can run it well because I mean the game looks awesome, especially the Malyuk, the weapon. I'm really excited, like the weapons, G36, the Malyuk, the Val, the VSS,
yeah,
like
yeah, it's just the
everything.
Russian game, the
Yeah,
guns
dude,
and
those are
weapons and
all.
attachments.
I'm a Russian weapon guy too, so that's I think looking good. And I didn't even see the full weapon list, but I'm assuming, especially like you said with the mods, you'll see a lot of the stuff we saw in some of the mods that yourself and like Drewski were playing. So I think like the
I'm sure
spark
we'll
stuff
see that
and all
eventually.
that. Yeah,
Yeah,
a lot of that good stuff.
probably different skins,
This
maybe
is
more
that and that's
realistic hardcore mechanics.
a mass on the bottom of a sniper we just saw there is just like that shotgun.
Yeah, I think it
That's
was a
cool.
I
A
don't know
mass
if that was
26.
M485 or something like that, but
It
it was
was
a
a mass
shotgun.
26 or something. Yeah, that's
Yeah,
wild, dude.
it was an underslung
That's funny.
shotgun. So it's like, why not? I guess so.
Yeah,
But it's interesting
you
because
can
like
do
it
it.
reminds you of there's a mod called Gunslinger that does that where it's like when you upgrade your gun, it adds visual changes to it. So it's cool to see that as well too. So it's a
Yeah.
basic like from what I can tell, if it's anything like the upgrade system, in like soccer Call of Pripyat, it'll be like you upgrade, it'll be like 10% plus to accuracy, and then that technically adds, what was it, like a forward grip or something like that, so it's like. It's like, oh, now you could put a flashlight and that, gives you, now you can see in the dark with the flashlight,
Mhm.
or oh, this adds well, one of the upgrades, it was like, oh, you can take your shotgun and upgrade it so it's rifled, so now it's stronger and accurate shooting slugs, but you can't shoot buckshot out of it now. So, and once you make that upgrade, that's it, you can't reverse the upgrade.
Okay.
So you have that, and then also multiplayer as well too. So there's going to be PvP with these weapons as well too. So that is also, people are probably more focused on the single player stuff, and I'm curious to see like weapon balancing and whatnot, and especially if it's like this heavy on the your PC and stuff like that. I'm curious how it's going to be running when you're facing other players in a PvP environment, even though it might be like 8v8, 4v4, very small ones, but so
Yeah.
we will see,
I'm
man.
pumped.
It's right around the corner. I'm excited for
Soon.
it though.
Soon,
Yeah,
dude.
this time next week, I'll be talking about my first impressions on it. So
Yeah.
there's no preload times though, which sucks. That's the only crappy part. So I have to wait until 11 to just sit there and download, depending on how long. And I don't even know how big the file size is. I'm sure someone might have already put it out there how big it's gonna be,
Probably pretty
but
big.
So
it's
many
most
games
likely gonna be
on the
pretty big.
20th,
Yeah,
dude. I wish they synced. Like, holy shit, it's
I
hard.
know, man.
What
dude.
am I
Yeah,
gonna,
so we got all these games coming out,
And I got a
and I
family
went
trip
back and
planned.
I
Yeah,
went
good
back and played
timing.
Shadow Chernobyl as well too last night. Making a video on it now just to kind of see what's just to kind of like play the last for the game that started it all, again one last time before it comes out. So yeah, we got Warzone Warfare, Arena Breakout, this soccer. We just
Delta Force.
Delta Force. Yeah, it's
A lot of good stuff coming.
Wow,
which
man.
I know we talked about last week as well too. It gets me a little bit worried about like certain games eating players as well too from other games. So I'm curious how like Grayzone's
Yeah.
gonna do, how many players are gonna
Yeah,
come back for
because
that.
to be honest with you, man, Tencent is really making a move, dude. Like on the
They
extraction
are.
shooter stuff with these two games, because they're just like they're in like similar but different pockets of like hardcoreness, I guess, versus
Yep.
arcadey with Delta Force and Arena Breakout. When those come to console, man, I think it's gonna capture a big player base, and Tencent's gonna own both of them. I I I maybe I'm wrong, but I know if I was a console player, I would be so excited for Delta and Arena Breakout to be coming to console. It's
Mhm,
essentially like
mhm.
it's
That's
essentially like a high quality of life Tarkov that's coming to console. People
right.
have wanted Tarkov
Yeah,
to console for years.
forever, dude. Yeah, I think that's what like the majority of my community in my Discord is just like, I can't wait for these to come to console. You know,
Yeah, a lot of
whether
people.
it's I don't have the PC or my PC won't run it or my internet's not good enough, but those coming to console I think is huge. So that's gonna be a lot of fun. And controller support just for PC. Now that I'm on PC, I think I got the PC controls pretty down, but I do want to try and play Delta Force
Don't do it.
on my controller, man, just because I was so good at DMZ, you know what I mean? It's just I feel like I'm playing like you play on a PlayStation controller your whole life. I feel like it's so much more natural. So we'll see.
I don't
I
know
mean,
if you play on mouse and keyboard from now until then, it might not feel as natural.
it
We'll see.
is. I do feel. I mean, mouse and keyboard feels pretty natural now too. I mean, I've been going 20 20 the end of 2019 is when I like started playing Tarkov for the first time. And I used to always play PC games growing up too. So it's not like it's foreign to me at all. Like I'm fine with it. I just think I don't know. It's tough. It's tough to say because Call of Duty like DMZ and stuff like that, you do have the aim assist. So you know, is it I'm more comfortable or is it that little bit of aim assist? You know what I mean? Think it's about the same. So I'll try it on the controller, but I'll probably stick with mouse and keyboard. It's just more intuitive for sure.
Yep. So all right, man. Well, I think that's a show. Running up against time. Yeah, man. Lots of stuff. Good show. Appreciate everyone being here. Thank you guys so much for watching. Thank you guys for listening. Again, like I said at the top, if you want to help us out, there's lots of free ways: hitting the like, sharing the stream, sharing the VOD, sharing the audio. That helps us a ton. Leave us a 5-star review, like the stream. That also helps us a bunch. It's all stuff you can do for free. Thank you guys so much. And stay tuned to our socials to let you guys know how next week's going to shake out, how the timing of that's going to be. We might have to be a little fluid with our timing. Just stay tuned to our socials for that stuff. All that is linked down below in the show notes or the subscriptions or the show notes
Whatever it is,
or the
something like that.
just the description. That's the word I was looking for. Sorry. No sleep, guys. Have a wonderful week.
Like you have
Enjoy
two
all the
kids or something. I don't know.
it's weird. I don't know.
Get it together, man.
It's almost like that's a thing. You guys have a great week. Enjoy all the game releases as these are coming out, and we will see you next week with much more to discuss. Thanks, guys.